More impressive. They're now unbeaten in their last 3 away from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it takes them to within 2 points of the top 4. As Son Heung-min returns to goal-scoring form, it's one for Matt Doherty and a couple as well for Harry Kane. Been a busy night at the bottom of the table. Leeds United 2, West Ham 2 is a final score, and Aston Villa have drawn 1-1 with Wolves. Highlights of all those games on the Sky Sports app, which you can get to by scanning the QR code that you can see on your screen right now. So Tottenham then go on to 33 points. They're within 2 of Manchester United and Newcastle in 4th and 3rd. But all the movement has been at the other end of the table. Not for Southampton, though. They stay rock bottom with 12 points. Wolves in 2nd from bottom. Everton slip into the bottom 3. They're level on points with West Ham, who picked up a point. Bournemouth now in 16th place, just 1 point off the bottom 3, and Nottingham Forest win means that they move up into 15th place. For Crystal Palace, they drop down a place on goal difference into 12th. And the Premier League action continues. In the top half of the table, it's Chelsea against Manchester City. 6:30 for all the build-up to that one on Sky Sports Premier League. Josh Widdicombe and Nish Kumar are about to leap into the unique and often sensational world of local news. All episodes of Hold the Front Page available right now on Sky Max. Making the back pages for tomorrow morning, though, Tottenham and Harry Kane with that 4-0 victory at Selhurst Park. Doherty, Son Heung-min on the score sheet, but it all started with Harry Kane and his brace.
Sponsored by Bet365.
Hung up by Perisic, Kane! The second half specialist, Tottenham, take the lead. Kane, oh brilliant! Wonderful, ruthless, Harry Kane. Doherty wants it, gets it, Doherty scores. Oh, this has fallen for Son, just the break he was looking for. Heung-min Son is back in business.
He's back in business, and so are Tottenham in the race for Champions League football next season. So despite the fact that Crystal Palace had more shots and only slightly fewer shots on target, you can tell by the XG the quality of the chances that Tottenham managed to create. But they took until the second half to get going. 5 of those 6 shots on target for Tottenham were in the second half of the game. And of course, 4 of them ended up in goals. It all got started with Harry Kane, a couple from him, then Matt Doherty and Son Heung-min with the goal to wrap it up. They're both with Greg Whelan.
Guys, very well done. Harry, what value do you place on this result here tonight?
Yeah, really important. We've not come back and had the best results in the last couple of games. We've done well against Brentford to get something out of that game, and then obviously losing at home was a blow a few days ago. So important game today, tough game away from home. So it was nice to put that performance in.
It's only 2 completely different halves of football tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's what Harry said. I think this is a difficult place to come and play well. So obviously, yeah, the second half we're turning around and score 4 goals. I think in this place is really difficult, but I think the lads completely deserve it. I think second half we dominate the game, and I think scored 4 beautiful goals.
So Harry, what was the message then at half-time? What changed? What was changed?
Yeah, well, I think we started the game well. We started on the front foot. We switched the ball well, created a few half chances. So it was more just getting back to that. They had a spell kind of about 25-30 minutes in where they got on top, and it was just moving the ball quick, getting runs in behind, and then just quality in the final third. Great to keep a clean sheet, and then it was down to you know, the boys are in the final third to try and make something happen, and that's what we've done.
2 goals from you in 5 minutes. Did it feel like an important 5 minutes, not just in the game, but almost in the season?
Yeah, for sure. I think these are the games, you know, if you go 1-0 behind, you can find it really difficult to get back into it. So we scored at a really important time in the game, and then we've done it well this season. Whenever we've kind of got one, we've managed to get a second one not far behind. So yeah, really good win. The games are coming thick and fast, so it was nice to get 3 points here.
Sonny, it was nice to see a smile on your face. It's been a little while since we've seen that, celebrating a goal. Tell us how it felt.
Yeah, it felt like, again, amazing. So I think it was just about time. So I was, yeah, obviously, I felt, to be honest, I felt really sorry for the team because I think they're expecting that I'm doing more than what I have been done. So I think today, I hope there could be a turning point that get back the confidence and score shit again. So then, yeah, I want to continue to help the team.
Excellent. Do you feel like 1 goal in circumstances like that could make the difference?
I hope so. And yeah, we're working. I'm working, or we're working really hard to be consistent and being always in the sharp in the game. So I think this is my aim. So obviously, the goal is always important to get a big confidence back. So I think, like today, I think it was a really important for me. So I think what I said before, it could be turning around. So and then I hope I can score many goals as coming the games.
Harry, as usual, you seem to be closing in on records. The latest one is Jimmy Greaves' all-time scoring record. You're just a couple away now. Are these things in your head at all?
No, I try not to think about them. I'm one of those. I think if you think too much, sometimes it can have the opposite effect. So yeah, of course I know it's close, but I just got to keep doing what I'm doing for the team, keep working hard, and yeah, I'm hopeful the goals will come. And it was nice to get a couple today.
Big games coming up. This was vital tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, really tough games. Obviously FA Cup, and then a big North London derby next week, and then City after that away. So yeah, it's an important stage in the season for us. That's why today was important to bounce back with a good 3 points, and hopefully we can take that momentum into the next weeks ahead.
Big night tonight. Sonny, the man next to you is player of the match. If you'd mind doing the honours, please.
Thank you very much.
Well done to both of you.
Well deserved it. Cheers,
Thanks, fellas. All the best. Thank you.
Well, both of them on the score sheet for Tottenham. It was a much better second half performance from them.
It really was, Kelly. I've got to be honest, at half-time, I could never foresee that happening. They weren't at it. They didn't have that sharpness. And then second half, they just come into life. Graham said something before the game. He said, when you've got a player like Harry Kane, you've always got a chance. And that come to fruition there. He was just incredible. Not just his goals, his all-round play. He held it up, brought people into play. His touch was exquisite. It was a masterclass second half. And his second goal is as good as it gets. I can't wait to see it again. The touch and the finish is just sublime. And we've seen him do it time and time again. Just an incredible player.
Let's start with his first, though, because chronological order and all of that. Graham, what did you make of the first finish from Harry Kane?
Well, it's Perisic delivers a delightful ball for him. He sees it coming all the way. It ends up out on the left-hand side here. I think Gill comes in here, manages to get it out to Perisic. He's got time to take a touch, looks up and just sits it up. He knows where Harry is on the far post. Harry's under pressure. His goalkeeper's coming out to him. He's got a defender to deal with, but he still gets a full head on it.
He gets up so early as well.
The minute that leaves his foot, you know, his eyes would have lit up. Harry's eyes would have lit up, knowing this is my ball.
Look how early he's up. You can see Ward at the back post. He's up earlier. He leans on him. We saw Alan Shearer, who's competing, trying to get the Premier League top goal scorer. He used to do that so well, and it's a great piece of forward play, isn't it?
It's a delight, because Perisic is a quality crosser of the ball, and he must have known this is for me. The minute he takes it out of his, or gets it out of his feet, Perisic, Harry's eyes would have lit up.
They did light up, and your eyes lit up when you saw the second goal.
Yeah, Brian Gill deserves a special mention as well. We said before, said at half-time he hasn't done enough, but he certainly come into the game second half. This is a really nice piece of play. Harry gets it there, sets it out to him, and he plays a pinpoint pass into him. That touch is perfect, and he doesn't give the keeper a chance to set himself. It's all in one motion. It's such a good piece of play. You can see the defenders get caught as well. Harry just sets it. You can see that gap opens up. Harry anticipates it. Great little pass there. Touch finish. You can't stop it. It's absolutely world-class finishing.
He is a world-class player. If you look, he's taken his angles off where the line's at. He's not looked at the goal. He's not looked at the goalkeeper, but he knows where the goal is because of the line on the 6-yard box. He's a class act. He's the one England player that is truly world-class for me.
One.
Only one.
We've got a few. Don't worry about that.
Well, my definition of world class is, for another day, is someone who could go anywhere and be welcomed by any team in the world.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if any other England players do that.
We've got. Do you know what? I just think the way that he plays and everything about it, even in the goals that he's involved in after that, I just thought he was incredible the second half. Because you think he's been a bit flat since he's come back from the World Cup.
Yeah, I thought he had a.
He scored against
a
Brentford.
Disappointing World Cup. No, I'm an enormous fan, but I thought he had a disappointing World Cup. I said before, the World Cup, England could win it, but it has to be Harry on form. I don't think that happened. But I make the point, you know, I think they'll finish in the top 4 simply because of him. Keep him fit. He is goals. He's Mr. Goals. And you don't have to be playing very well to win games if you've got Harry Kane in your team.
The thing is that after the goals went in, and his goals were the platform for Tottenham's second half performance, really, that's when the whole game started to open up, and that's when we saw the best of Tottenham, and Matt Doherty got in on the act as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I didn't see it first half. I must admit, Kelly, this was not something I thought was possible. The way that they were playing, they were devoid of real confidence. But again, it's Harry Kane uses his strength, then he cuts inside, lovely piece of play, plays it into Son. Touch isn't quite right, doesn't get his shot away. Then you're getting a little bit of luck. You get a couple of ricochets here or there, and you get a deflection. But Doherty finishes it well. But again, it's Harry Kane, the class that he shows there, and the strength pushing people out the way. And then that pass as well. Son really should do a bit better, but still has the
Joel
ability
Wall's got
to get
to
it
stay
back.
on his feet there.
Yeah,
His
I mean,
son's
but
got to stay on his
Crystal
feet.
Palace second half, Graham.
Look, he's got to just stay on your feet.
They never made a challenge. They never got after them. And Tottenham were there for the taking as well, first half.
Tottenham were a different team in the second half. You know, instead of taking 3 touches, they took 2. Instead of taking 2, they took 1. And the whole game just livened up for them. They were moving the ball quicker. They were more aggressive when they were closing the ball down. They were just a different team. I think maybe the manager had a word in a few of their ears, because they seem to be a different team.
Jamie, you said you think that Son could have done a bit better in the third goal that eventually fell to Matt Doherty. Maybe a bit of a lack of confidence. He hadn't scored in 8 before he came into this game.
This is so important for him. He relies on goals. He'll be, you know, last year he called the Golden Boot with Mohamed Salah, and this year it just hasn't happened for him. This is his 4th goal of the season. He needs more goals, but that will give him so much belief. They've got some huge games coming up. You know, he hits it well, obviously gets a bit of a deflection. They've got Arsenal, City coming up. They've got big games. You felt that might have been a bit of a foul, Graham?
Yeah, I think if that was making it 1-0, I think the Palace players have been all over the referee. The fact it was the 4th goal. Watch this nudge coming up on Gui by Son. It's enough. It's his right arm comes out, Son's right arm comes out, just there, pushes him slightly under the ball. Look how much Gui's head misses the ball by the amount he was nudged. And then the goal's a wee bit lucky because it takes Gui gets back in, Son strikes and it takes the deflection off him. I think if that's 1-0, I think the Palace players are all over the referee wanting him to look at it on VAR.
But do you think that he should have been stronger in that challenge?
Yeah, he's got to be stronger, but his focus is on the ball and he's pushed slightly under it. Yes, of course, he should have been stronger. And I'll come back to it. None of the Palace... You look for a reaction from a player if he feels he's been fouled. But at that point, they were a disappointed group.
Yeah, I think that whole challenge had epitomised Crystal Palace second half. I don't know, you spoke about Conte getting stuck into his players at half-time. I'm sure Patrick Vieira is probably equally as disappointed with his team at the end of the game. There should never be a 4-0 game against a Tottenham side like that. It was really poor from Palace second half.
We posed the question, how much do the managers get stuck into the players today? What can they say and what can't they say? It's a very different dressing room to the ones we were in.
Yeah, that was poor.
Well, we might get an insight into that because we will get both managers' reaction to that 4-0 victory for Tottenham at Selhurst Park. We'll hear from Patrick Vieira and Antonio Conte next.
You'll never stop this thing. I will never let you go.
Sponsored by Bet365.
Antonio Conte wanted a reaction from Tottenham after just 1 point from 2 games since the World Cup, and he got it, a 4-0 victory over Crystal Palace. Here he is with Greg Whelan.
Antonio, you wanted a reaction tonight. What did you think of the one you got from your team?
Yeah, it was a good reaction, and it's not easy to win against Crystal Palace away. We're talking about a really good team, well organized, and after first half imbalance. Then the second half, I think we exploited the chances to score, and then we finished with a good final result.
You made a positive start to the first half and then appeared to fade. What changed at half-time? How did you affect the game? What was the message to the players?
No, the message was to continue to play, because we started the game very well, to play, and then I think in the second part of the first half we lost a bit of the possession. I said to the team that it was really important to continue to play the ball, to move the ball in one side, the other side, and to find space to attack. And I think it was good. I think we played a good game. We were well organized without the ball. Also, we tried to press high, to recover good ball. I'm happy because our striker scored, and Harry scored twice. Sonny finally scored, and it was really important for him, because we are talking about a player that he needs to score and to feel confidence in himself. And then it was important also for Matthew Doherty. Don't consider goal after a long time that we consider goal. It was another positive situation. Now we have to continue to work and to try to improve. Today I'm happy because we played with in this period we are playing with many young players, and I had the opportunity in this period during the World Cup to work with these young players, and then to improve, I think, tactically, physically, and now to have players like Gil, Papesar, Skippy, Doherty again in a good physical condition for us. It was important.
Your strikers will make the headlines for their goals tonight, but was this not a night where the whole team had to come here and stand up and be counted?
Oh, sorry, I didn't understand.
Was this a night where we had to see the character of the whole Tottenham team?
Yeah, but honestly, the character that this team always show with a great character. I think that maybe only in the last game against Aston Villa, and after I repeat a really good first half, when we considered the goal, and then maybe this was the only game that we didn't have a strong reaction. Otherwise, we showed every game great character, because this team, I think, I hate lose, and they want to fight to avoid this. Also because they know very well that I hate to lose, and I try to transfer this to my team and to my players.
So coming here tonight in the form that you've been in of late in the Premier League, and to come here and win, sum up the importance of that result.
But it's really important, because we got 3 points for the table. Is important because we continue to stay very close for the good position, and you know when you don't win, and the confidence, you risk to have the confidence really down. For us, it was important to win away against Crystal Palace. Don't forget, last season we lost 3-0 here against them, and it's not easy to play away against Crystal Palace. To win this way, it means that we played well, and I'm happy because we used many young players, and this is important for the present and also for the future.
Antonio, well done tonight.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
So they've put themselves right back in the mix. They're 2 points off fourth place, off Manchester United and off Newcastle. But those next Premier League games after the Portsmouth match in the FA Cup are looking very interesting indeed. A North London derby and then Manchester City.
4 days is a long time in football, though. If you listen to his interview on Sunday, Graham, we were doing the game, you think we're the end of the world. He can't get a game, he's got no squad. Today, upbeat, gets a win. That's how football can change.
A couple of hours ago, we were saying, is his future under threat?
Exactly, that is just won 4-0, but that's how crazy football is. He'll be looking at it now, looking at the fixtures ahead, got Portsmouth, Arsenal, Man City, hoping he can get like Benton, Kulusevski, Richarlison back in the squad. Then everything looks healthy
They're
again.
needed. They're badly needed.
They need that extra bit of quality. It was a big result for them today. Son scoring, Kane being in form. And what it will give them, because this North London derby, we said it last year, the one at the end of the season was one of the biggest in history because it meant who was going to get in the top four, and it obviously worked out in Tottenham's favour. This is going to be a huge one as well because it can turn your season around. If Arsenal get the win, they'll believe they can go and win the title and kickstart them or keep them on that path. And if Tottenham get a win, everything is rosy. Everything feels good after a derby game. It's that big a match coming up.
Yeah, they'll also want to put a spanner in the wheel for Arsenal. They'll take a
Both
great
teams
deal
will.
of pleasure
Both teams will.
if they're able to do that. But Tottenham's good second half performance counterbalanced by a poor second half from Crystal Palace. Here's Patrick Vieira with Greg Whelan.
Patrick, commiserations. A tough night in the end. How did you see it?
Yeah, it was a tough night in the end. Of course, conceding 4 goals is not something pleasant at all. But again, I think that doesn't reflect the quality of the game that we played today. I think we deserve more, especially in the first half, with those situations and those chances that we created. And of course, when they scored that first goal, it became really difficult for us. And when those players have a little bit of space, they can hurt any team. But the way they managed the game, the way that they managed those difficult periods that they had, show a huge difference between the two teams. And the experience, I think, was a massive factor on the games today.
Should you have had something to show for that first half performance in particular?
Yeah, I think we had situation. I think we wasn't clinical enough. We didn't take our chances well enough. I think we had a couple of passes to put players in a better position to score. I think our last ball in the last third wasn't good enough, wasn't clinical enough. And Lloris makes some couple of important save. But we were brave. We show quality, and at the same time, the fact that we concede 4 goals show that there's still a lot of things that we need to improve.
To what extent, Patrick, was the difference, perhaps those 2 moments of real quality in front of goal that put Tottenham ahead at the start of the second half?
Yeah, I think it's, before the game I was talking about with the quality of both forward, both offensive side. The difference will be the team that will take his chances will win the game, and we create those chances and we didn't take them. And, we have young players in our squad, in our team, and that kind of games has to be managed better. And the experience, of course, allowed them to be strong and to score those goals on the period where they were dominant. So, of course, there's a lot of things that we have to take from that game. But, you have to give credit to Tottenham because they look really solid, within control, and they're waiting for the moment to take their chances. And, with the quality that they have, they don't need it to create a lot to score. But I believe that the 4-0 doesn't... It's hard for us, it's hard for my players, it's hard for the football club. But, we still have a lot to take from that.
At 2-0 down, you made a change, an attacking change. How did you see getting something out of the game at that point?
You always hope to create more chances, but of course, when you take that risk, you leave yourself open, and that allow them to score those 2 goals. But you just make chances, hoping that you will bring more quality because you were players who were quite tired, and it didn't work today.
Commiserations.
We saw some things that you liked in that performance, Patrick Vieira, but they have been inconsistent throughout the season. They've got Southampton in the FA Cup, and then their next 6 games in the Premier League are against top half sides. They haven't beaten a side in the top half yet so far this season. Are there any signs that they've got what it takes to be able to do that?
Not on tonight's showing. I think I wasn't too impressed with them tonight. I think they started slowly. Spurs for the first 25 minutes were the better team. They got into it in the second part of the first half. But really, nothing from Elise tonight. Nothing from Eze tonight. Wilfried Zaha was very quiet tonight. You're struggling to. For me, if Wilfried's not on it, I'm struggling to see how they can score goals. I mean,
they had a big chance first half, didn't they, with Ayew, when he should play it to Elise. And if he scores, you go 1-0, it could be different. But I'm with Graham. I didn't see enough from the inconsistency, frustration watching them. They lost their last home game 3-0 to Fulham. They've lost 4-0 tonight at home. 7 goals in their last 2 home games that is conceded. It doesn't bode well. But then they go to Bournemouth and get a 2-0 win. So it must be frustrating to watch as a fan, let alone as a manager.
I didn't feel they really. You know, when you're playing in a game, you can sense how the game's going. When the game turns after 25 minutes, I didn't really get the feeling watching Palace that they felt they'd turned the game in their favour and they really went after Tottenham. That was a time to go after Tottenham when they weren't at it and they were more dominant. And then the second half, it's over for them early on with Harry's magic.
Graham, Jamie, thank you very much for your company this evening. There's still one more game from this round of matches and you'll be able to watch it live on Sky Sports tomorrow. Chelsea take on Manchester City, 6:30 for all the build-up on Sky Sports Premier League. Meanwhile, this evening at the Palace, Harry was on fire.